and Shaka are joined by Pitch to address the elephants in the room. Nature shows are pushing political agendas, and you can't spell contract without the con. Grab your pitchforks and torches as we march to the center of these topics in this episode of Brewer's Bunker.
Why, hello, Michael.
Hello, good sir. How are you?
Greetings from my closet.
It's a bunker closet.
The bunker closet. Yes. I swear. I swear. I keep telling everyone. I swear. I'm working on the next move. I promise you. It was going to be the garage. I don't know. It still may be the garage. But for now, the closet is very comfortable for me. And a lot of people can contest that they enjoy closets. So until we break free from the closet, this is where we'll be doing these things. So what do you got going on today? We have a bunker, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, if I remember correctly, the guy that we're going to have on, I saw him on TikTok.
He's a TikTok guy.
Yeah. That was a very long response, Mike. You right?
Yeah, sorry. I spaced out.
Someone dancing in front of you? Like, what happened there?
Well, I mean, you're in front of me.
I've never seen such a. I've never seen you do that. Like, right? You're like, yeah, TikTok guy.
Just blanked out, man. Sorry. My apologies.
Yeah, no. So I'm curious, and his whole thing is, which I've heard a lot. So again, I like watching. I feel like I'm always in the hills, looking to see what everyone's getting all riled up about, what political rah-rah they're jumping and running. And I always believe it's professional wrestling, and I believe in what we call controlled opposition. So in other words, both sides are controlled, and I saw one of this guy's videos, so we'll get to it, but that's where he had more to elaborate on it. And I was like, hey, let's see if this guy, let me just tell it on here. It'd be a lot more simple than me trying to explain it to you. Oh yeah, the bunker. And of course we're in a bunker. So these are theories, the conspiracy, we're characters, no facts here. It's just, we're getting together in the yard and we're hanging out and none of our neighbors are listening. And that's all this is. All right. For all the fact checkers, I'll be checking the facts throughout this YouTube presentation on the Breuniverse. And I will determine what shall be tagged. So for you, whoever you are, it's all good. Just playing around today. Okay? Nothing we're saying is real. We're just talking. All right. So with that said, let's get in the damn bunker. Mike, you got your sunglasses?
Yes. You just can't see them.
I like that. Well, let's bring on my buddy Jimmy Shaka. Jimbo's got it. Love it. Wow,
where are we? Where'd you go?
Wow, you getting a scruff, Jimbo.
I know.
Hey, are you going to do a song? Because I have a bunch of people here, and I'm going to jump into it again real soon. The Serpents of Humanity. We did a podcast, I don't know, a while back, and we were talking, and I made a video, and in it I was talking about the Serpents of Humanity, and Mike was like, yo, that's a song. I remember back in the day, we would have little competitions and stuff, so I said, oh my God. So I already got Larry working on something.
Yeah.
If you can come up with something, let me know, and we'll put it out there, and I'm trying to see if anyone wants to present it, and we'll have a whole show on Serpents of Humanity, like read lyrics and all that jazz.
Yeah, man. All right. Cool. Yeah, I hung out with Larry last week.
Yeah.
Just hanging out at the house, and he's like,
awesome.
What's this Serpents of Humanity? Brewer wants me to write a song, Serpents of Humanity.
What is that, bro? What is that?
I go, it's a good title. Yeah.
Serpents of Humanity.
I got it. Yes.
All right. All right. So what do you got going on here? Do you know this guy that we're gonna have on today?
no clue, and that's good. I'll
I
go
like
in
that.
fresh.
I
Yep.
like that too.
Yeah.
I literally just plucked him out of the woods. I plucked him
just
right
show
out of
up.
the woods. Huh?
I said I just show up. You know,
Yeah,
that's
and
where
when
that's
you-
like my whole life. You know, like whatever job I'm doing, it's like, oh, you're the sound engineer. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like,
Now-
I just show up.
All right. So now in the theory world,
Yeah.
is it fascinating all the moves and grooves that are going on right now?
It's almost hysterical. When I saw that Mike Pence had, he's got documents in his thing. What are they going to start like putting them in cereal boxes, right? Like classified documents in your new what do you call it? They're in tricks now.
What is this? What? How did this? How did I mean, if you're gonna and see now when those things happen, then I go back to that George Bush Sr. funeral, which you can't deny that you see Mike Pence,
Yep.
his wife open a thing and have an envelope. You see the Clintons have an envelope. You see Obama have an envelope, and you see the Bidens have an envelope.
Yes.
You see George Bush Jr. and you see Jeb Bush's reaction, where he's horrified, whatever was in this envelope. And people during that whole thing, like, yeah, but Pence was on there, and they're like, what? Maybe that this is a movie. It's an unbelievable. I don't know where this script is going, but boy, I tell you, everything where we saw like, this guy definitely he's not on that team. He's really working for that team. Well, now it's dun, 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 dun. We found more documents. Dun, 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 dun.
So true.
Mike Pence, who was also vice president. Dun, 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 dun. And
then Trump, said, "Oh, leave Pence alone. He's a good guy," or something like that. He did like a tweet.
Did he really?
Yeah. He's like, and then I go back to letter 17, where he goes, optics are important, right?
Yes.
And he also said, what makes a great movie? And the answer,
great actors.
Great actors.
Great actors.
That's right.
Wow.
Who's the act? Which ones are acting? You can't tell. Is Biden? I think Biden's the great actor.
I don't think he exists. As it being honest, I say it now in public. I'm sorry. Call me a loony bin. I don't think that's him. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a guy with a mask, if it's multiple guys with a mask. There's nothing you can do. And go ahead, certify me as a nutball. There's nothing you can do to say that is 100 and convince me 100% without a doubt, completely not an inkling of a doubt, that is the Joe Biden we know from the Joe Biden of the past. There's no way you can convince me that's the same human being. No way.
Now, you know what I noticed the other day, because I A/B them, right? I'll type in Vice President Joe Biden 2014 or 16 or something, right?
Right.
And I'll just look at that guy and then look at the guy today. And it's not even the looks. I mean, the looks are very, very close, but the old guy had this like creepy, snaky look to him.
Snaky. He had a little snake.
He had a creepy, snaky, like I am such a sleaze, right?
I've got something over on you.
Yeah.
And you don't know about it.
The new guy he does not look that sophisticated, the new guy.
No, now he looks shocked.
He just looks goofy.
Look goofy.
Yep.
Earlobes attached to his cheek. Come on, man. All right. So
wait, and this was the last thing I was going to say was that I notice on the news now, when they talk about Biden and they just have like a picture up, It's a picture of the old Biden.
Really?
Yes, I saw that the other day. They're like, President Biden was, and it was a picture of the old guy, which makes me say even more that it's not the same guy.
Interesting. Well, we shall see one day. One day, maybe. Who knows? Before we go any further, you got anything you want to throw out there before we jump in, bring this pitch in?
The only thing was that I had a moment of despair, especially after all this talk we're talking about. Like now, I'm glad we're talking about this because you're kind of giving me hope again. But I just had a moment where I realized, like, I felt like I didn't help anyone. I didn't help.
What?
It's just that I didn't, like, as far as like right? I didn't help some of the people closest to me. I tried.
In what manner?
Meaning nobody listened to me. I was just the crazy.
It doesn't mean you didn't help.
I was the crazy conspiracy guy.
Kids.
Huh?
I talked to my own kids. They didn't listen.
Yeah.
Two of the three didn't listen.
Yeah.
I talked to some of my real close friends. They didn't listen. And they need to listen. Everyone's got their own fears. Everyone has their own. That's not on you. As long as you put it out there and you're like, hey, man, I'm just giving. I have a friend that gave a full-blown corporate presentation of why not to get it. It was so funny. He did this for his three kids, and two of them were, one was in college, the other one was going to college. He gave a pointer with charts, what this doctor says compared to this doctor, how this company is paid by this company, and therefore they have to say this, and he gave a full book. He had me howling with laughter. He's like, I'm being dead serious because this is I figured, all right, you want to go school-wise? He brought out a whole, with the paper that goes over the whole stand and all that. It was so he put it out there. All you could do is put it out there. All you could say is, hey, don't bite that pizza. It's hot. It's going to burn the top of your mouth and your skin's going to be hanging. People are going to take a bite of the hot pizza. It is what it is.
But now I'm worried. We're seeing people fucking.
Oh, that's conspiracy. That's been going on forever, Jimmy. Come on. Haven't you seen the latest athletes and politicians and people on TV? They drop like that all the time. This has been very common for the last 10 years.
Right.
It's a regular thing. It has nothing to do with that. You know that. I know that. Come on now. Now you're being wacky.
Right.
Listen, it's not funny. At the end of the day, it's not funny.
Right.
It's not funny that I know a very young lady that got blood clots on her liver.
Right.
That they try to say was from the row team or the volleyball team. They all they want to do is insult your intelligence, and they think by constantly showing a screen in front of you, you'll just eventually someone's going to go, yep, that's what's going on. So you did your job. Don't beat yourself up.
But I think we have a longer job, and the job is to it's like you can't walk. First of all, probably most of the people we know are in that camp, because they had to for their job, for their job, for their school, which just
right.
It's so evil, but so you know what I mean? But now what we gotta find a way to a cure. Or
they already have it done. One of them already got a whole thing. Isn't one of those companies coming up with a new right into the heart injection, or to start all of a sudden to fix hearts? They figured. They're not stupid. Drug lords are not stupid. They know the disease and they know the cure. Always, right. always. They ain't gonna sell you the disease. They're not gonna let you get sick unless they can make some cash.
Right.
So anyway,
All
don't worry. Let's bring on. Trust me, don't worry. It's part of this journey we're on.
Yeah.
Some ascend, some descend. Sometimes it hurts you who's ascending and who's descending.
Yeah.
But you can't stop it from happening. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring into the bunker a man we call Pitch.
What's happening?
Pitch? How you doing?
I can't.
Man, thank you so much for having me on your show. And I just want to say that this is just my opinion for entertainment purposes only.
That's right. Well, we know that. You know that. And the YouTube fact checker now officially knows that.
Oh, good, man. Because I don't want to get you deleted because I'm on the pitchforks are coming 7 and they're all deleted except for 1 right now.
Good God.
Jimbo.
Yes, Jim.
You know how like you used to say like your dad, like when you get to a certain age, you just say it like you said, you're just saying it. And you say it and you don't apologize. You don't before preface it with anything. You just say it. I'm starting to do that too. Just
if you don't like it, then just don't listen to it. It's that simple.
I'm like, guys, I wish I could agree with you on that, but on my channel, I have to speak in code. I have to take words and do the syllables backwards because you are being monitored. There's bots, algorithms. There's actually people monitoring my live streams. And right when I get ready to say something, shut you down.
Well, go to Rumble.
Okay. Yeah, I need help because you guys don't know I'm in the medical field. I'm not going to tell you if I'm a doctor or a registered nurse because the way I got kind of like my thing going is because I knew what was going on with the vidco. If you turn those backwards, that's called COVID. I don't know if I can say that. You might need to bleep that out. And I know about this. So I got shot down a lot, but then I go to other platforms and I just don't have time to post everything. I work like 18-hour days in all the hospitals here. And then the next day I have a homestead that I'm working on. I would love to do Rumble and I'm trying to get people to help me and people opened up the Telegram for me. I'm on Breuer and I'm on TikTok and I was on YouTube, but they shut me down.
What did they shut you down for?
Because I talk about, I have to speak in code. I call them the elephants in the room. It's a certain group of people that rule this planet that you can't talk about. People know about them in the government. We know about them in the media. Everybody, and they're the elephant in the room, but you can't say anything, okay? Because they have their agents and they have their help everywhere monitoring everything. And then they shut you down for community guideline violations, bullshit up to protect themselves from talking about them.
Jimmy has a question.
Let me ask you something. Are you bigger now than when they shut you down? Than when you were?
So I started TikTok when the vidco came out. Can I say COVID?
Whatever came out, the thing.
Yeah, when that came out, I started TikTok because I work in healthcare and I knew exactly what was going on. I was telling people what was going on and what was coming. And I got 100,000 followers in 3 weeks, which is crazy. And then they shut me down. And after that, it's called shadow ban. I'll get a channel and I get like 3,000 followers. I post a video, it might have 12 views when before it would have thousands of views in about an hour. So it was very, really good at the beginning. And once they find out who you are, like even when they shut you down and I try to upload TikTok, they give me a little safety warning that I have to like give them a call because they know my phones, they know my computers. So they slowly shut you down over time.
So is it mostly medical or that's what you got? Supposedly the content you put out there was medical and then they would shut you down for what, misinformation or something like that?
Yeah, so my channel is mostly about the elephants in the room, a certain group of people that rule everything. From that, I talk about depopulation. That has to do with the medical part. And then I talk a lot about social engineering and how they use the media to manipulate your mind and make you think a certain way, feel a certain way, ultimately act a certain way, and do what they want you to do.
Sure. We're all well aware of that.
Yeah.
We've been well aware of that for a very, very, very long time. Very long time. So with that said, what is it like? What exactly you want to bring here right now? Because I heard you talk about many things on yours, but if you had to tell the world the one thing, like, hey, if you really had to know something, you should know this.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try to speak in code because I don't want to get you in trouble, man. But
You don't
there
have to
is
speak
a
in true
certain group
because nothing you're saying is factual, so don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, there's
We're
certain
characters.
people, a group of people that rule everything. It's not the Freemasons. It's not the Jesuits. It's not the Vatican. Okay. It's not these secret societies. They own and control those secret societies. And the reason I know a lot of this stuff, because I found a book that they wrote a long time ago that you can't even talk about. And it tells you what they do. If you read it, it's a game plan for one world government. All right. So that's the big thing that I want people to know, that like they infiltrated all governments. A lot of your Congress, they're not Americans, man. They're dual citizens. All right. And they are in Congress, they're senators. They were the senior advisor to Donald Trump. Okay, they're like politicians, they're lawyers, they're judges. They're there to manipulate, they infiltrate. They also own the media to promote filth and perversion, and to do social engineering to make people think a certain way, feel a certain way, act a certain way. And they own and dominate finance and the banking system to keep people financial slaves, perpetual labor, poverty. So that's the big thing, is the elephants in the room. And then I talk about all the tentacles and all the tools that they have to manipulate and dominate and control every single person on this planet or globe or whatever you want to call it.
Or they put the perception out that they have that ownership and control. As long as the great Roman Empire, as long as you feed them and entertain them with your sports and your booze and your alcohol and your hey, it's St. Patrick's Day, and hey, it's New Year's Eve, and hey, go on vacation, or whatever they line you up in. At the end of the day, I think it's a bunch of bankers, but I do think it's all, you can't, do you remember the saying, the hunters will become the hunted? You're starting to slowly see, for the first time ever, no one knew what the World Economic Forum was. Nobody knew what that was 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 10 years ago, except for the people that were part of it. And now those guys are walking down the street with regular people asking them very important questions, and they're exposing them. They can't hide because they're live streaming, because there isn't no paid media trying to call them out. It's all real deal people. I think it was fascinating if you really watch deeply. And all right, let me ask you this. I'll just throw names out there. Kanye West, controlled opposition.
Yep.
Good guy, bad guy. Where's he lie? If you had to put your finger on it.
I got you. So what he's talking about is contracts, right? Contracts. And he's speaking a lot of, okay. And if you look at the word con is like anti, like a contract should bring people together, that we all agree on the same deal, that we're signing something, but it's a con.
Right.
And he's calling out certain groups of people that manipulates people that don't understand this type of language, this legalese that they're using through the contracts. So I'm not sure if he's controlled opposition. He's bringing some light into the darkness about what's going on. But eventually what will happen, just like with Mel Gibson, he's going to apologize. And he's probably going to come back and because he wants to keep making that money. I don't know. Here's the funny thing. I'm aware of this stuff for years, but I stopped watching the news, and I stopped watching basically media and TV for probably the news for about 15, 20 years, and the TV and everything for probably the last 10 years. So I really don't even know what's going on anymore, because I'm at that point where I know that everything is a psyop. You know what I mean? So I don't even know what he's talking about half the time, but he is on to what's going on in the entertainment business, in music, and with contracts and the filth and perversion that they promote.
A lot of people say that what they want, whether you like him, don't like him, you think he crossed lines, whatever your personal opinion, he really did put absolutely incredible, eye-opening, wide awake scenarios out there, and certain things out there, and certain communities reacted a certain way. And it's interesting how it just kind of like, yep, let's let that fizzle away. Same thing with like a Kyrie Irving. Now, I find very interesting right now too is Steven Crowder. I have no clue. All I know is I went for a bike ride. Right on my bike ride, my neighbor's really. He's like, "Hey man, you see what's going on with Steven Crowder?" Because I don't know what to believe anymore. Because I thought this Ben Shapiro and Candace Owen, like I love them and their company, like they're just another corporate company, man. So what is going on? Do you know Steven Crowder? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I know. Of course, I know Steven Crowder. He goes, well, he just basically called out that company. Like, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, it's his contract. So he's reading the contract, and it's basically every corporation out there. And so they claim they're really working for the people and doing the right thing. But at the end of the day, they're just doing exactly what they're doing. And have either one of you seen this saga? And I don't know. Seriously, it could be all scripted for all I know, just to make more money and make it part of a whole new show. I don't know, but I'm either one of you aware what I'm talking about?
I heard about that.
I'll let you. Yeah, I can't on it.
No,
Jimbo, you go first. Jimbo, you go first.
I just heard that Crowder was involved in this dispute with another, someone that everyone thought was the good guys.
Yes.
Right? Like Crowder's the good guy, and this other guy, they're the good guys, and Crowder's calling these guys not the good guy. So you don't know. You don't know who's, infiltration instead of invasion, right? That's the old expression.
Now,
right?
Yes, 100%. Now, Pitch. Anything on this subject? Because I could tell you what I saw and I watched, and then I'll express exactly the contracts and the drama in this. It's very interesting, and I think it has potential to revolutionize a lot of negotiating, like full blown. I think Steven Crowder might have just revolutionized. Call me wacky, I'm in the bunker, and that's why we're here. He may have revolutionized the way you negotiate contracts from this moment on. I'm being dead serious. It is unbelievable.
Well, yeah, really. Like I said, I don't know about that story. I don't watch the news anymore. It's funny. I'll ask my dad and my brother what's going on. But anybody that has a spotlight that's out there and has a big following, and you know about them, they are a part of the system. Okay, and they're probably controlled opposition. Or if the people ask for a hero, we will send you one.
Well, this is interesting. So let me just up you. So this is brought to my neighbor brings this up to me, right? Hey, Steve Crowder, blah blah. And I don't know what's the Candace Owens Ben Shapiro company. Do you know? Is it Jimmy?
No.
All right, doesn't matter.
The Daily Wire.
Daily Wire. The Daily Wire. Thank you, Mike. So the Daily Wire, which I'm not gonna lie to you. First, I'm like, oh, that has great potential for a lot. I think they got the guy who does What Is a Woman, that documentary. My personal opinion, I don't think that documentary got its justice. I think it should have went much, much, much bigger somehow. I don't know who's to say. I mean, there was enough attention about it, and it definitely made its mark. So the company, Daily Wire, apparently, and I don't know this for a fact, all I know is Steven Crowder was I guess approached by them saying, let's do a big deal. We're going to give you $50 million, right? Now, the general public here's $50 million. Like, oh my God, dude, I'll work 3,000 days a week. I'll do a thing. I'll cut my penis off. And I'll take my earlobe and I'll put a breast on it, whatever. Steven Crowder, it's not just $50 million. He starts reading all the things in the contract. And it basically said, and so he reads everything in there.
Out like, on air.
Yes. And he basically says, so I own nothing while we're in this contract. I have to give them a documentary movie. They get to sponsor me however they want. They basically own him, all his past material, and all the material that he creates within. And then they decide if they want to keep him for 2 more years after whatever amount of year. And
now, Jim,
that's no different. What's that, Jimbo?
I was going to say, more than anyone, that's what they do.
That's what they do because they think, oh, they'll this amount of money. So then the lawyer and the company of Livewire, right? Is that what it's called?
Daily Wire.
Daily Wire.
Livewire is my wedding band.
Livewire is a Motley Crue song back in there. That's right. This weekend, playing the wedding, it's Livewire performing Motley Crue's Livewire. So now their rep goes on TV and defends. And dude, it may be. Mike, we got to get this. We got to get this on video.
It wasn't even the rep. It was the, I believe it's the owner.
It's the owner? Bro, I was belly laughing watching this last night. Belly laughing because she's like this. This is their sales pitch. Now, $50 million is a lot of money. So we're asking for 196 shows, and you could at his own pace. I'm like, okay, all right. Then it's like he owes us a documentary. Okay. Then once a month he's got to, dance on a table and do a backflip at least once a month. 4 times a year, he's got to jump up and down and swim around, do whatever they tell him to do. They go on his backlog, and he keeps defending it by saying this, $50 million is a lot of money. And again, yes, we own it because we're paying for this, and we're Steven Crowder already has a production company. Steven Crowder already produces. So if they were smart, and this is the problem with greed and corporate and how you start getting back to America morals, call me crazy. If the 3 of us are going to go in, and I'm already got a huge following, and then the owner starts saying, well, he clearly says we want our brand to get bigger. Fair enough. Both of us want our brands to get bigger. But if I know I'm going to take your company to a whole new level, you should turn around just like a band member and go, you know what? Let's be transparent. If we're going to pay double of the amount of money you're working in, then we take 50, you take 50, we take 60, you take 40, you doing your own, we split merch only during this period. They own and they want all his merch. They want all, he can't do nothing. I was shocked that Daily Wire broke my heart with this because all they can defend was, hey, that's a lot of money. Hey, that's a lot of money. It's not $50 million. If you think outside the common man's head, they already know his company, Steven Crowder's company's worth $50 million, just like Dave Chappelle. Remember Dave Chappelle walked away from $50 million. And people are like, whoa, that's a lot of money. Not when you're worth $350 million
Mm.
that they're making and enslaving you with and owning everything you are. Is that fair? Is that being honest? If he's out there being the slave, promoting you, promoting his show, creating his show, you're just giving a salary and he's making you. Now you're the man. No one knew Spotify till Rogan showed up. I mean, that's not a fact. I mean, people knew Spotify, but when Rogan showed up there, all eyes were on Rogan. Like, whoa, $100 million deal about that, boom.
Something with the whole Crowder thing too. I've been following it fairly closely. And it all the money and stuff, but also when he gets penalized for an episode getting taken off or something like that. Like they broke it down where with this contract he was making somewhere like $65,000 an episode or something like that. But God forbid he gets penalized for an episode not coming out like the amount that they want. He gets hit with like $100,000 penalty.
Right. I'm shocked that Livewire. I'm shocked that Livewire went that direction. And I get it.
Daily Wire.
Daily Wire. Sorry. I apologize to the wedding band Livewire.
It's funny.
I hope they lose any work whatsoever. If you're gonna get married, you hire Livewire.
That's right. I'll be there.
Jimmy Shaka will be there.
Jimbo, I had I did this a couple of years ago, and I can't even think of the name of the movie, but it was like this independent movie, and they wanted to use that song I had, The Other Side.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
They wanted to use that in the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great. And they send me this contract, and the contract was basically, we own this forever, and any money this makes anywhere in the history of anything, it comes to us and we own it. Right. And of course, I'm like, this is another bullshit contract, like you're talking about, right?
Contract. So I like that, man.
Exactly. So anyway, what I did, and this is good advice, I think, for anybody, that they sent me a PDF. You know what a PDF is, right?
Yeah.
But if you're you got how to do a little bit of stuff on a computer. I opened the PDF up in an editor and I took out this sentence. I replaced this sentence with that sentence. All right. And I took out the part and I basically made it say that you have the right to use this song in this movie. Right. And you have, like whatever I deal with you from, and whatever projects we do together, fine. We agree on this contract. It has nothing to do outside of this, right? Basically, I made it agreeable to me because I wanted my song to be in the movie, but I didn't want the bad stuff. So I cut out the bad stuff. I signed it. I sent it back to them, and they fell for what they expect us to fall for. They just signed it without even reading it. They just signed it and sent me back a signed copy. Done.
Do you remember?
I pulled their trick on them.
Do you remember, Jimbo, Pitch, there was a time where I was on the radio and an agent that just brought me in, typical LA, pants up, socks, whatever. And he said, hey, we're doing a showcase. Can we, why don't you headline it? But I'm really trying to expose these other guys. Right. So he puts my name on the marquee. They sell tickets, which I didn't know they were going to do that. And at the end of the night, which I got to stand there for 3 hours waiting for other comics to finish their set. They're all going over. And I finally go up. And at the end of the night, the owner, the piece of run the place, they're like, here, man, here's your money. Boom, boom. Do you want your money straight to you or should I give it to the agent? I went, money. There was money tonight? Because I was told there's no money. He flat out told me there's no money. And this was a showcase. And So I took, yeah, I'll take my money. He goes, well, your name is on the marquee. That's what sold the tickets. I went, oh, okay. And then he asked for that money. And he told me over the phone that, well, I was going to give some of the other guys some money. I'm like, so you used me to make money to give to them?
Which is bullshit.
And remember, though, they're so suave. I called him on the phone. Do you remember that, Jimbo?
No.
I don't know if you remember that. I called him live on the air and whirled him in with some Hollywood funky dunk. You just throw out anything money related or like Hollywood related, and it just they don't know it's a worm dangling in front of them. Like, oh wow, money and fame. Oh my, suckered him in and exposed him. Like what? That's what I feel Steven Crowder just did.
Yep.
The Daily Wire.
What they're
and I gotta say, listen, I'm still fans. I'm still fans of whatever they're doing. I'm a big fan of that. The movie, What is a Woman? I'm a big fan of content, but I think this opens up the door for so many contracts. Not only just entertainment, but the average human being should be able to, no, we're gonna videotape this whole negotiating. Because I remember another contract I had where they were gonna re-sign me, and their condition was, hey, listen, money's good, all that's good. Here's my issue. You say you can fire me for whatever. If I fart, if I pick my nose, if I say the wrong thing. And then you say I can't work with any other competitor. The whole industry's a competitor. You can't, the whole industry competes. And what I did is this is to me also brings out spirit, God, morality, everything. This is the problem with corporations and the people that run them. They forgot about the spirit and the soul and the goodness part of it. Everyone can make money here. And I said to that guy, you're telling me, I said, are you married? He said, yeah, I'm married. I said, you have kids? Yeah. You have a mom? Yeah. You have friends? So you're telling me, you think if someone came to your house and said, hey man, we're gonna let you work for us, but here's the deal. Like if we fire you, we can fire you for whatever reason we want. And then you can't work for at least 3 months or look for work. You would look at another human being and allow that with your child? Would you allow that with your father or your mother? Would you, if your best friend said, if they fire me, I'm not allowed to go look for work for at least 3 months, would you think that's a good moral thing to do? Or is that a business thing to do, which is a nice word for money, which is a nice word for evil and soulless?
Controlling.
Control, pitch. Control. I love it. So
man.
I'm going to keep up on this, but wouldn't that be amazing with everything you negotiate now? It's just like, no, we're going to record this. Because this is the words they always just say. They always use this word. It's our policy. It's policy. It's policy. They're stuck in they're stuck in Jackassville. It's a policy. Our corporation has policies. Our corporations are funded by evil entities. We're owned by no more than 3 individuals, but you think you have the right to choose.
But it's like anything else. They get away with whatever they can get away with. Whatever, as long, and what is this? There's this thing about like the devil has to get you to agree. Like you have to do it they think in their evil minds, they think if you agree to it, that absolves them of karma. Okay. So they could do anything. They can murder you as long as you did it of your own free will. In their mind, they think they're absolved of karma. I don't agree, because you know what? I don't think God, or whatever you want to call it, is going to be concerned about, well, you know, I bullshitted them into agreeing so I can go to heaven, you know.
Or
I
just
think
live with a healthy mind going, knowing you did the right thing.
this
No,
is the
you
thing.
didn't.
It's
You did a
your
scummy thing.
intention.
That's
Dude,
right.
it's your intention that determines your destination. Your intention.
The Walmart set. It's communism. Make the slave work all day, all night. Make them think they're making the right amount of money. They know your bank account. They know your managers. They know your agents. They know your house. They know where you live. They know everything about you. So they know the leverage. They know the leverage. They know numbers are going to make your eyes go wide. But to have that knowledge and manipulate it and control is disturbing. It's disgusting. It's foul. And it has to come to an end. It has to come to an end. It has no choice to end, because there's no moral spirit in that way of doing business anymore. It's disgusting, disturbing. How long have people worked for ad agencies, 14, 15, coming up with brilliant ideas where they get to go to Marco Island for the 2 weeks while the company makes billions? I never could figure out how certain ad people didn't figure out, like, why am I they're just, it's like a weird voodoo thing. It's because they're attached to the brand. You know, I work for Disney. That's a big, like it's a tattoo. Like, yeah, I work for blah 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 blah. I don't care about you. I don't care one rat's ass about you. Not one. As long as they get the ka-ching. Bling.
Hey, guys, I dropped out for a second. Wi-Fi call went off, but I heard you talking about, you know, the contracts and how they trick you into it and then you accept it and that erases them of their like bad karma. So one of the things these guys do, and you probably know about it, is predictive programming, where they put things in front of you and they tell you what to do. And they do predictive programming for multiple reasons, but for one of them is to erase their karma, because they exposed it to you and you accepted it. And if you didn't move out of the way of the danger, then that's your problem, because they already told you about it, and that erases their karma, like in the contracts. They put the contract in front of you, but you didn't read it. Okay, so now they are excused from anything negative that's going to come to them from that.
That's not true. It's their intention. Go ahead, Jimbo.
Talk about predictive programming and subliminal messages. This is hilarious. So I was just flew on a plane. And I'm watching television, and I see there's nature stuff, and I love the planet Earth stuff. You know, in the Himalayas, it's a very rare cut. You often see only if you have a wonderful eyesight to look through the snow to see the spotted leopard. And so there's this new one. I got to find out the name. It's like Frozen Planet or Frozen Earth, Frozen Alps, Frozen Seas, Frozen Arctic, whatever. It's a Frozen series. In 2 episodes, first of all, they woo you in with the colors and the animals and the beauty of it all, and how the animals, they live and they wait for this season, and at the very end they start going, and that's why climate change has to be dealt with. Oh wait, it gets even funnier, right? And and they use words that is so manipulative. They'll say, the ice melts every summer in the Arctic. They say the ice melts every single summer. We see it at alarming rates. And all the words they use, and then you look back, it's like, it's the same thing over the last 30 years. But the words they use make you go, oh my God, we only got 4 years before the polar bears are going to be living anywhere. I was belly laughing. And then, of course, what happens 10 minutes after that? And that's why we have to help climate change, because these birds are dying from the air. Blah, blah, blah. It is, so I'm like, all right, who wrote this? Discovery, whoever it is, you just played yourself.
You're on the naughty list.
Hey,
you're on the naughty list.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
When you're talking about that psyop of this global warming, I want you to think about this for a second. The ice caps melt and then the sea levels rise, right? If you have a glass completely full of ice and water, when the ice melts, what happens to the water? Does it overflow the cup?
No, it goes down. Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same level.
Yes.
It's the same level. If you have a glass full of ice and water, and if the ice melts, it doesn't overflow. Okay.
Dude,
I'll
give you a better example is, you put like beer in the freezer and you leave it in too long and it explodes.
Right.
Because when it freezes, it expands.
Right.
Ice expands when it freezes.
Right.
When it melts, it contracts. So if all of the icebergs melted, sea level would probably go down. Fascinating. Dude, it's always the opposite. I heard the same thing about the CO2, right? Where they said, the cars, we got to, because of climate change.
Sure.
It's actually not making the world warm. It's making the world cooler, in reality. And it probably does, because if you think about it, if you're putting pollution in the atmosphere, you're actually blocking
out the sun. Yeah. So, which is what Bill Gates wants to do.
Yeah.
That's just be a big tax. That's a tax scan, the CO2 things and the carbon credits and everything. You're going to get farted, man. Farting. You're like, if you go buy a steak, they're going to say, well, you've already ate enough meat, because there's social credit systems coming. They're going to say, you've already ate enough meat for this week. You can't do it because you're contributing to CO2. Anytime you drive your car, everything's going to be monitored. And this is all about taxes. That's why they're pushing this whole sustainability, global warming, because they want to take money from you. And they want to control you. They want to control your traveling, your consumption. They want to basically put you under their thumb.
But, well, we know that. But don't you think there's an opposition to that perhaps is in the middle of attacking that and or blocking that mission as we speak, where I'm going to have a hard time believing that's going to come to this.
Yeah. What do you
or worldwide, or the entire United States, or the entire world? It's going to be, that's going to be way too many people are catching on. Way. And we by far, but this is what people don't understand. We by far are the laziest. And what I mean by the laziest, we live nice. There's countries out there that don't live anything close to how we live on a daily basis. And as they keep catching on, they're gonna, I don't know. I don't see them just rolling over. It's only a matter of time where they're like, yeah, no, we're done with you, man. We're done with you. Get on out of here. I don't know.
So, Pitch, what do you propose? Because I mean, like the other thing is, when you're all the stuff you're talking about, 100% true, and they're 100% going to do this. All right. So what's the solution? What's your solution?
Right.
All right. So the other part about my channel, I talk about the elephants in the room, depopulation, social engineering, and the solution is homesteading. All right. I live on 10 acres, chickens, goats, cows. We have 3 gardens. You were born into a business world that they control, and they're trying to take control of the land. They're making like farming your own food going to be illegal because they want Monsanto to do that. You can't harvest your own water because you don't know what you're doing. You can't grow your own food. But the solution is to buy some land and homestead and be self-sufficient, because everybody's locked into these cities where you're relying on them for food and water, and then, but the problem I have is they're spraying us. So last year was the first year, and I know a lot of gardeners, people that have been gardening for 30 years, their plants did not grow. My plants did not grow last year because they are spraying us. So they're attacking us from different directions. But the solution is, because non-compliance isn't going to work. Taking these people out isn't going to work because they have their agents and helpers everywhere that control everything. You got to go back to your roots, man. You got to buy some land. You got to learn about fertilizing. You got to learn about composting, chickens, germinating seeds, growing gardens, and everybody's lost that skill. And that's what I talk about on my channel. That's the solution. Buy some land and get out of the business world and take care of yourself.
I agree. 100%.
There you go.
100%. Now, I wonder if you can, like they make no-fly zones and stuff like that. I wonder if you can somehow get them, say, look, I don't want anything like that going over my land. I don't know.
Not happening.
That ain't gonna happen.
Green. The solution is greenhouses, but I live in the high deserts, in the mountains, and greenhouses, you can't keep them cool. You have to stop them from spraying you. It gets on the plants, it goes into the root systems in the soil, and it comes up. And actually these chemicals, barium, strontium, aluminum, all kind of pharmaceuticals are on the inside of your plants because they're spraying.
Oh, that's horrible. Yeah. Did you hear about the other thing, what they're doing with meat and everything? They're putting, the mRNA in the cows, in the chickens.
So they're weaponizing food. I saw an article about how they're putting it into salads, into lettuce. They're putting vaccines into lettuce, so you will be eating your vaccines without you even knowing about it.
Isn't that horrible? So we have to grow our own. You have to do it.
Yeah, but what are you supposed to do if you how many people are gonna do that? Who's gonna start? I want to build a farm. I ain't gonna go out and get a farm right now. And if I get a farm,
it's easy.
Dude, I suggest this, man. Yeah, it's easy. You gonna do it?
Throw a tomato out the window and talk to me in a month. You're gonna have a tomato plant there.
All right. I tell you what. Here's what we're gonna do. Mike, you're in on this too.
Yep.
Now, Pitch, you may not count because do you already have stuff?
He's already doing it.
Yes,
I'm doing it.
Acres, man. We got gardens rolling. We got chickens, eggs, fresh eggs every day.
Okay.
Water,
we have to come up with in 2 months. We got to start growing something. We got to start.
There
growing.
You go.
That's the mission. Everyone's got to grow something.
I already got you beat.
Pitch, go ahead.
No, Mike.
So on my channel, this is the very interesting thing about my channel that's different. I educate people on homesteading, but I actually encourage people to use the chat, the message board, to communicate with each other. And I get direct messages where people, because I talk about how to buy land. Okay, you can actually rent land. You can help people on land that have a lot of property, and you can take care. You can be a caretaker, and you can have a parcel of land. And people in the direct message, I ask people to communicate. I'm all about uniting people, and people have got together and bought land together because you might not have any money,
right?
But you might have some skills. You might have a contractor. Right. You might know how to plumb.
Back to border,
people have the
back
money.
To looking after each other, back to community.
Yeah, so that's the solution. In my chat,
village.
I don't want people arguing with each other. People get together and they start gun clubs. People get together and hang out and go have some coffee and talk about things. People unite together and meet each other, like-minded people, and do stuff like homesteading and buying property. And it has happened. And that's something I always encourage people. Just grow something, man. This summer, if you just have a patio, just grow some tomatoes because it's a challenge, man. To grow stuff is a challenge.
It's fun. This sounds fun.
Yeah, you got to do it. So grow something. I want to see your peppers. Okay. I want to see your tomatoes and onions, garlic and cilantro. Make me some salt.
Okay. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to take direction. What, Jimbo? What?
Okay, something you might not know. Hold that thought, Jimbo, because something you might not know is you can actually get an organic. I did this the other day. You get an organic beets. Right? Yeah. Or you get organic Boston lettuce.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes the Boston lettuce comes with a root. All right.
Oh.
You can take that and just throw it in the ground and it's going to continue growing. You take some beets, they come with the stalk on them. Just put those beets in some dirt. And now you got a plant growing. You can eat the beet leaves. It's a salad. All right. So right there, boom, you got instant food.
I'm gonna find out stuff in Florida. I might have. I'm gonna find. I'm sure it's a little different because of the weather down here. But I'm gonna start looking into this, and I want people to hold me accountable. I want to be here a couple of months from now, chewing on whatever I should be chewing on. I want to be eating some fruit, and my wife will give me a hard time, but that's okay. I don't care. I'm doing this. This sounds beyond, like, there's no reason why I can't have one section of my outside and I'm screened in, have something growing inside the screen. What's up, Mitch? Pitch.
Here's a couple tips, Jim. So find out what zone you're in, and there's certain fruits and vegetables that grow good in your zone, so you're not wasting your time growing the wrong thing. And here's a cool little interesting thing: if you're going to germinate your own seeds, which you should do, sounds kind of weird. The seed in your mouth and let your saliva connect to that seed.
Interesting.
That's going to start the process. That's going to be your plant. You're going to have a bond with that plant.
Interesting. I like.
I've had bonds with a lot of plants in my time. I'm just going to be honest. So on that note, let's rock and roll. This is thanks for hopping on today. It's a lot of fun. We have to reconnect. And I might have to make little videos of you helping me out, steering me what to do about this. All right, you up for that?
For sure.
Hey guys.
Yes, Mike.
Real quick, check it out. I got this for Christmas. It's called an Aero Garden, and it's a hydroponic plant growth system. And I'm actually growing right now basil, this purple hot pepper, and parsley. It's pretty cool.
What are they called? Aero Garden?
Aero Garden, yeah.
We should reach out to them. Maybe we get them to help us out.
Hey, never know.
Let's do it. Hey, man, thank you guys for hanging out today.
How can we get in touch with you, Pitch?
Oh yeah, Pitch. Who's following you and where they follow you?
Sure. So my thing is the pitchforks are coming. Some variation of that, but probably a number behind it. So on TikTok, it's the pitchforks are coming. The only channel I have up right now is 4. So the pitchforks are coming 4. They're getting ready to delete it because I have multiple community guideline violations. I'm on Breuer. The pitchforks are coming. And anywhere else, that's what I'm going to be going by. The pitchforks are coming.
Hey, man, thanks for hanging out today. It was a pleasure having you.
I appreciate it. And nothing but love, guys. Thank you so much.
You as well. Take care, brother. Jimbo?
Yeah,
as
man.
always, thank you for hanging out today.
It was fun.
We went all over the place. We went from contract negotiations to making a garden.
Yeah, see, I love that because
now we're on a mission.
We all know there's nonsense going on. We all know they're doing all this stuff, but we got to do stuff.
Even if it wasn't,
yeah,
it's a great idea to learn this stuff and be able to do it anyway. It feels good. It brings you back to life. It gives you back the understanding of spirit and nurturing something to allow it to grow, to understanding the sun, to understanding soil, how it grows and how life creates life. All those tiny little things are involved.
Can you imagine giving your kid a salad? All right, because I used to do this. We've been at this game for a long time, right? And I remember after 9/11 and all that stuff, I started looking at. I wasn't paying attention to politics. None of us were. And all of a sudden, 9/11 hits. So we're like, all of a sudden, I'm like, wow, this world is really screwed up. And to make it short, I'm like, all right, I need to be as self-sufficient as possible. So at the time, I had the backyard there. You remember, you loved the backyard.
Yep.
I would plant stuff all over the yard, and the kids in the neighborhood, all the kids were little. I would have peas in a pod, right? And they would come back there and they couldn't wait to crack open the peas and eat them right from the vine. And I'd grow watermelon and the kids would sit at the table and have a meal that came out of the backyard. How cool is that?
It is cool. So it sounds like we have a mission, another fun mission. We have music. Now we're starting gardening. This is gonna be an interesting year.
Yeah.
Hey man, let me rock and roll. Good to see you, Jimbo.
Check me out at the World According to Shaka on Telegram and Jimmy Shaka on Truth Social. That's all.
Beautiful. Love you, bro. Be safe.
Love you, bro.
Have a good one. There you go. That was interesting. We went in a bunker, and the next thing you know, we're growing tomatoes and corn. Who would have thought? At the end of the day, being self-sufficient is the greatest thing. And, the whole contract thing too. I'm going to have to watch it more. I'm watching it very loosely, but I thought it was fascinating. Sometimes you think, oh, wow, that's different. And they're really helping people. And maybe they are, but business-wise, are they just becoming the same thing, but now on the other side? Just thoughts to think about. So with that said, I guess we all have to get our little infrared light and start, growing basil and stuff on the inside. So until then, thank you for all you do. Check out the tour dates at jimbreuer.com. I am definitely going to be doing some dates, so jimbreuer.com. Some big dates are coming. So I hope to see you out there. And we'll see you on the Patreon page and everywhere else where you can find me. Thanks for hanging out in Breuniverse. Take care, Mike.
Take care, man.
Take a look around and what do you see? Mark the date down tonight, we're making history.
Hey, this is Jim Breuer, and I got my own Patreon page, and hopefully you'll check it out. Live comedy concert streamed once a month. Weekly, you host your own podcast, and you interview me. Early access to the Breuniverse podcast every single week, and have bonus footage and bonus segments. I promise you I'm not going to let you down. Go check out my official Jim Breuer Patreon page, and I'll see you there.